I'd like you to visualize an onion for a moment. Think about an onion, layer after layer after layer, one on top of the other. All emanated from a seed and grew out. And as it grew out, it got larger and became another shell of another shell of another shell of another shell. It's a healthy analogy for time. The conflicts that we have today in our world are simply repercussions of conflicts that were before. These are conflicts that were never redeemed. And when I say they were never redeemed, it's not that they weren't forgotten, that they weren't subdued and swept aside and buried below. But they weren't redeemed. There were conflicts where individuals, where souls cried out for justice, for judgment, for retribution. Their souls were unable to recognize any sanctity in a lesson being imparted, and were not able to recognize any just cause for anyone having to come to this world and experience what they have. And they were correct, there was no just cause. It was a gift of benevolence. It was a gift of benevolence chosen by a soul for themselves. I will be benevolent to myself. I will prepare the greatest gift. For the reason why I am experiencing a fragmentation of time and entering into a world of polarities, extremities of free will, is in order to perfect my love. In order to render my love more authentic and more real. In order to exhibit a higher love. A love that is without pretense. And how better to illuminate that love than to experience everything that is the opposite of that love and love anyway. You see, there are many souls that enter this plane, and many are familiar with the analogy of Jacob's ladder. Jacob's ladder had 70 steps. Every step had a macro theme and a micro theme. Person entered the step of grace. That space of grace was accented. It was a grace of freedom. It was a grace with understanding. It was a grace with wisdom. It was a grace with strength. Every soul that enters this plane is somewhere along those 70 steps. Every soul that enters this plane has a part of them that is residing beyond those steps, in the golden seat on top. The ancients called that space the throne of glory of the divine. What that space is that core of the onion, the seed from which everything emitted from. Is a space of unconditional love, deep intimacy, deep compassion. And souls that enter this space and experience hardship, they are souls that created a gift for themselves. They said, I do not want to take those steps one by one in a linear way. I want to advance and ascend directly to the throne of glory. I want to plant the seeds of a future time. I want to plant those seeds of the time before time. I want those seeds to germinate in the soil of consciousness of the human creation. I want to help render peace on earth quicker, faster. I want to help render suffering obsolete. And I will do so by illuminating a higher love. And I will illuminate a higher love by confronting adversity by an adversary. And I will transcend justice, and I will recognize the benevolence. And I will recognize that if such oppression is able to manifest in the world of balance, then so much profound good has been rendered available in potential. For free will is a balance. Free will is a scale. And if you see that there is incredible assortment of goodness, then know that there's incredible assortment for the opposite. So long as there's free will, so long as there's free choice. And when an individual confronts hardship and difficulty and is oppressed, that individual should crystallize in their thoughts, I am experiencing this because new tears, new expressions, and new potentials of extreme benevolence have become rendered possible. And I took on the mission of helping to plant those seeds. And there are legions from beyond that salute me, that are envious in their love, that I have had the opportunity of planting those seeds in the worlds of actuality. In the world where it can be perceived that one is bleeding and one is hurting. In the world where we learn from contrasts. And the individual can graduate in their recognition to see that they've offered themselves the greatest gift. Wrapped with a bow. They will not take it one step at a time. They will not take Jacob's ladder, they will take Jacob's escalator, and they will go directly to the top flight. And as they do so, they will learn its melody, its harmony, and begin to sing it for all, so all can dance to that joy and bliss. And they do so without judgment, for in that space there is no judgment. There are only different chords along an infinite celestial piano, where everyone is invited to play joyously and harmoniously for the betterment of all.